Hi, everyone. My name is Cezar Williams, and I am the artistic director of the Fire This Time Festival. Thank you so much for joining us on the Fireside Chat. Our special guest today is season 15 playwright LeeLee Jackson, whose play What's Love Got to Do with It will be featured in this year's 10-minute play festival. LeeLee, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Cesar.
Oh, we are so excited to have you in the festival this year, as well as your play. Um, when I read your play the first time, I was immediately touched by how you managed to have these two characters. One is a woman, the other is called her man, being this bit of a conflict, but they were still managed to be loving to each other and yet advocating for themselves. And every year in the Fire This Time Festival, a theme seems to emerge. I guess it's because it's such a short period of time between when we request the submissions and when we produce the plays. And this year, I want to say the plays are all about relationships.
hmm hmm
Um, it's not a lot of plays. There aren't many plays. We didn't get a lot of plays about uh, big issues, like police brutality or, um, you know, a pandemic or a war. Past seasons, we've had that. This season's really a very intimate. We got a lot of plays about intimate relationships, either familiar or love or kind of partner relationships. And
hmm
it's just another one of those kind of beautiful plays um, that I think is really going to touch folks. So congratulations.
Thank you. That makes me like happy because I felt like theater was definitely going more on like the big situations like you were talking about. And it made me feel like, yes, like this is like a communal collective trauma that I'm understanding, but like that individual aspect that theater is so good at bringing audience into. I've been feeling like that's missing, like it's like, yeah, let's talk about Black Lives Matter. Yeah, let's talk about like gay rights. Yeah, let's like these big issues, like this shared kind of trauma. But it was like those like little specific moments of relationships and like being seen, really.
Yes.
I've been feeling like that's been kind of missing. Like, like yeah, so I'm glad that it seems like playwrights are getting more back to that, like the personal, the intramural, the
Yeah.
what's in us, writing what we know, writing what we feel, and that makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Great job. We're super excited. Oh, that's a great spot to start. Why don't you just tell us about your play?
Yeah, so What's Love Got to Do with It is a play that I wrote. It's really a satire that I wrote about a woman and her man is very possessive because that's how, it's her man. But it's about this couple and a woman. I sort of wanted to just fantasize what it would feel like if I was to like say some honest things to the different people that I date and just being like transparent with myself and just like digging into my desires. And that's what a woman is doing. Like it's an imagination of what that would be like if that's what we said. If we said what we really felt, like could it be that we are unsatisfied with these heteronormative relationships, that they aren't working for us? Like, so that's what it's about. It's a woman having that conversation with her man. Like, am I like I'm like what are we doing, sort of speak. Like, I'm not happy with this, even though you're really happy, and I'm grateful that you're really happy, but I want to experience that happiness too. And it's not happening in this relationship. So yeah, that's what it's about. Like,
That is
mhm.
great. That is great. You kind of almost touched on the next thing I wanted to know, but maybe I can ask it in a different way. Um, what is your feeling on that question of uh, are we becoming too complacent in certain kind of heteronormative relationships or in certain type of gender dynamics or just even basic situations? What do you feel?
I definitely feel like we have for a long time, and we are like as much has been open, like our eyes have been open to new language, right? New genders, or not new genders, but the language of genders, and just being able to identify with different things that, even 10, 15 years ago, we may have not had those options. Like we may have had feelings, but just not the words to connect it. Um, or the support, the communal support. And so I think that for me, really, it's yeah, like I wonder what it would be like if people were not settling for like just what's normal or what they know or even what's easy, even though like it's like, yeah, that is a good man, girl. He got curtains, he don't got blinds, and he smell good, and he take care of all of his kids and the baby mama, like, or whatever the case may be, like whatever that version of a good man is to you. He went to school, he worked at, like he got money, like what he's nice, he don't even cheat, like all these things, like he is that, and it's okay if that's still not what you want.
Hmm.
And I wrote this specifically for this festival, but now I'm like curious as to what it would look like with the inverse if more men were honest about what they desired and like me. Like I have sometimes been with men and I'm like, you don't like women, huh? Like you don't like women. Like I can tell. Like I'm just something for you to predicate your fantasies on. That's it. Like but I wonder what it would be like if a man was honest in that same way.
That's
And so yeah, I do definitely think that because of like, and I'm not to say everyone, like nothing is blanketed for us as a people, right? Like this is for those who do identify and connect with that, like, like there's nothing wrong, but something's still off for me. Like that's okay. That's okay.
yeah, and I'm glad you wrote this. I'm glad you're saying this because I think that is more common than people are willing to admit. A lot of times, the way I always put it is the picture is good.
Mm-hmm.
The picture is like what people expect, and people from the outside might say, "Why would you break that up?" But internally, you know that it's not satisfying you, and you stay in it for external reasons.
Right. And I don't knock anyone's reasons, like, and that's what this play doesn't do. It doesn't offer those reasons of like the why. Like, um, because sometimes it's just, sometimes it is what it is. And like my mom passed away like 2 years ago. And
So,
before she passed away, when my mom was like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. She was amazing. She's like, I like have a little bit of her in all of my like strong womanly characters. But like I came out to her. I was like seeing this guy and I was like, Mom, I don't really know. Like something wrong. Like it's something, it's just off. And like, I was like, I was like, I don't know. I might be gay. I don't know. Like, like kind of how I phrase it. Don't be surprised if one day I bring home a woman or a trans person or not, like, because it's something off. I feel like it was really, and my mom was kind of quiet and she was like, well, she kind of warned me. She was like, a different kind of violence comes with that. Additional, you're already a Black woman. Now you're adding this additional sort of marginalization. Like there's this, you got to be careful. But she was like, if I wasn't happily married with your dad, I might try it. Like, and it was like, oh, like I was like, okay, like, and it was like, what if, like, and so I think that like sort of also, because I knew my mom loved, but we're not talking about love, right? Like, what's love got to do with it at all? Like, if we were having a conversation about love, that would be the conversation. But we're not talking about love. We're talking about like maybe self-love, desire, exploration of the body. Like, I think all of those things should be affirmed, and that is a reason enough to go explore that. My mom never did exploring. As far as I know, like she can mind her business, but I don't think she did. She used to tell me everything, but it was just like even if she was saying it, like it never told nobody, or like it just made me feel like, dang, like okay, cool, like all right, like more women in their 60s and 50s should have space to explore. And that's why I was telling you, like, this woman can be, in her early 20s, in her late 60s, like, it doesn't matter. We all have desires, and our desires can change over the years. And it'll be interesting if more of us was okay with exploring it, regardless to how desirable we were to the, like the other gender. Mm-hmm.
Love that. I love that thought. You also have a not-for-profit that you founded, correct?
Yeah, I found a arts nonprofit. It's called Blacklight Arts Collective, or Black. We do artistic events or we create resources for artists, Black artists, to teach, to learn, to gain resources. We're volunteer based. We do little workshops here and there, and we go to shows. Yeah, one thing we also do, we go to shows. We like pay for tickets for Black people to meet up and then go see different plays in different places. So yeah, that's something that, little thing on the side, but I love Blacklight Arts Collective.
Cool. That is great. We need more of that. Again, just
A million more.
fostering community. Did
Hmm.
When did you found that organization?
3 years ago.
It's around the pandemic.
Hmm. It was actually, our first meeting was in person. It was before the pandemic where we started. So it was like in person. We had a meeting at one of our volunteers' house. It was like 15 of us, and we just sort of like hashed everything out. Our first few meetings were right before, like, so yeah, and then it hit, and then it was like, okay, well, I guess, all our donations are going to the Zoom, and like buying books and sending them, and like the first thing we did was we did a big book giveaway where we just gave like bundles of books to people who followed us on Instagram, like different books, like I mean everything you can think of. Honestly, it was like 30 books, like, and just making sure that people who, it was like a pandemic thing, like people, you're in the house, like make sure you're reading and staying stimulated. So yeah, we do stuff like that.
How did the pandemic impact you as an artist, if at all?
The pandemic had an impact. I think that my work probably got softer.
Mm,
I would say so, because at first it was like definitely more like radicalized and trying to be an influence more by like Amari Baraka, Lorraine, Susan Laurie Parks, like that, in your face, like this, it is what it is. And then now it's more like Tazaki and, Lorraine Hansberry, which is still and in your face, but it's there's like this like thread of nurture. I
yeah.
think so.
Is
Yeah.
this also the same time period when your mom was ill?
My mom got sick after the pandemic, but it was still during the pandemic. So my mom passed away in 2022.
So
And so like January 1st, 2022, so on New Year's Day. And she was sick for about 6 months prior, so the end of 2021. And everything changed. Like I felt like all the connections I had made and everything, it was like whoop, like all my attention went to her. And I would like I was just experiencing just nastiness, like from her doctors and nurses, and she was seeing things that no one else could see. She had dementia-like symptoms, so she would see things that we couldn't see, or just be in a different time that we weren't in, and it was hella hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie, but I wasn't writing at that time. I was taking care of her, but I was writing because I was like writing notes on things that she saw. I know I can't see it now, mama, but I'm gonna make the world see it. Like everybody gonna see it. I'm gonna put it on stages and everybody gonna see this alleged cat you keep talking about, or this alleged rabbit, or like whatever you see. And girl, I was just taking notes of her symptoms, but also trying to like tell the doctors like this is what's going on, because doctors kept telling us she was fine. So it was just a whole lot of stuff. But once I finally like wrote about her in those last times, I was like, okay, that's losing it. And so yeah, my mom definitely, she got COVID in one of the hospitals. It was hard. It was a really hard time, I think. And I think a lot of times it's like, how did this affect us globally? But there's the very personal ways that these traumas have impacted us. Even though they're global traumas, they still have a very individual impact on people. So I think something that's great about me, that I value about myself, that very few people may know, is that I really, really, really believe in other people. Like, I feel like I can imagine that person. Like I don't know, I just see people's like I see their best potential self. I see like good in people. Like I see like energy and good energy when they got good energy, right? But like when I like really vibe with somebody, like it's because I really believe that that person has it in them to be like great themselves. And I feel like I've been gifted with the language to explain that to them and to see that and to like I really believe it though.
And on that note, I just want to thank you, LeeLee, for taking time out of your schedule to
Mhm.
chat with us. I want to thank everyone out there who took time out of their schedule to tune in. Please come check out the This Time Festival, which is running January 18th through January 28th at the Wild Project on the Lower East Side in New York City. Please come check out LeeLee's play, What's Love Got to Do with It, and support the festival and support Black art. Thank you again and have a
Mhm.
great day. Bye-bye.